Hi friends! The video you're about to watch of me unboxing my game Chronicles of Light Darkness Falls Disney Edition was recorded back in February 2024. I ended up not being able to publish it until today, July 21st, which is the release date of the game. So it is now available to buy at friendly local game stores and Target. Since I recorded the video a few months ago, some of the components were under a media embargo, meaning I couldn't show you certain things. Now that the embargo is fully lifted, I can show you everything. So I'll see you again at the end of this video to show you any of the components I didn't mention in the video you're about to watch. Enjoy, and I'll see you soon. It's finally here! The game I started working on over 2 years ago. Chronicles of Light, Darkness Falls, Disney Edition. Now in this video, I won't be going too much into the details about the design or pitching process for this game. I'll make a separate video for my design diary, which will go into all of those details once I go through and make sense of all of these prototypes. And in this unboxing video, there are a couple of things I won't be able to show you that will be shared closer to the game's release date, which will be in July 2024. But I will show you as much as I can. All right, let's open it up. Eee! Oh my goodness. Oh, there she is. Wow. Oh, it's so pretty. So they added this little shine to the letters. So when you turn it, it kind of shines like that, which I absolutely love. So there's the front. So we have Maid Marian, Belle, Moana, and Violet. So if you don't know, this is a cooperative game where you take on the roles of different Disney heroes and you are going on quests and you're defeating these shadows of these different villains that have taken over this land, and you're pushing them back and bringing light back to the darkness. So this is the front and this is the back. And there's something very special on the back. Game design by Pam Walls. Yay! Okay, so let's read the back. It says, "The realm of light needs you. Step into a magical world where the essences of Disney's brightest heroes unite to vanquish the sinister darkness. Forge an unbreakable alliance as Moana, Violet, Maid Marian, and Belle embark on perilous quests, unlock hidden powers, and drive back shadows of infamous Disney villains. As a team, you must share ideas, discuss, and coordinate how you will harness your extraordinary talents before the darkness falls each round. Only by embracing teamwork can you restore the realm of light." And then this little things here says, "Combine actions wisely to win, replay with new quests and maps, roll dice to defeat shadows, and play one of 4 heroes." And then it has an example of some of the landscape tiles laid out in this grid. There are some player boards here and the different ability tokens. Okay, we're going to open it. Okay, we have successfully taken off the little stickers. Here we go. All right, so here are Belle's starting action tokens, and then here are her base abilities, and these are the same for everyone, but then everyone has 2 unique starting abilities. So she has an enchanted book, so she can read it, and she learns about the different shadows and about how to tame them. And so she uses that knowledge to reduce a shadow's strength by 2 at her location. And she has Philippe. So Belle can move up to 3 land spaces. A hero at her location can ride with her. And then they also have special abilities that are locked at the start of the game, but once a player completes their quest, they unlock it, and then they get access to this special powerful ability. For example, Belle, she can unlock the Clever Catapult, and so she can add 2 hits to any battle at any location. So each player has a unique special ability that starts locked and is unlocked, and then 2 special abilities for that character to start the game with, and then there are 2 base abilities that everyone starts with. So I can show you Maid Marian's action tokens. So she has the 2 starting tokens, so they allow you to move or heal, one or the other. So each character starts with move 1 or heal 1, and move 2 or heal 2. And so in this game, movement is used with these tokens here, and a lot of special movement abilities that some characters have. And then Maid Marian's starting actions are, she has the Beacon of Light because she's a ray of hope, and she can move a hero to her location. No matter where they are, she can bring them to her location, which can be very helpful. And she also has a birdie. So if you remember in Robin Hood, she knows how to play badminton, so she's utilizing her badminton skills in Chronicles of Light. So she can send a birdie to attack a shadow up to 2 spaces away, and then she takes 1 less damage. So I'll explain a bit more about combat in a bit. And then Maid Marian's locked ability that she unlocks when she completes her quest is her Royal Influence. So you can move Maid Marian or any other hero to any land location. And you'll see when I show you the landscape tiles, land locations and water locations and ports and things like that. This is the evil vortex. This is what's pulling all the essences of all these villains down into the realm of light. This is what is spreading all the darkness around. And so this is moving around the land. At the end of each round, it moves and it spawns more shadows. And so the heroes have to close the vortex at the end of the game to stop more shadows coming down. So this would be a good time to tell you what the win condition is for this game. So to win, the heroes have to defeat all shadows in the land. They have to complete all of their quests. Each character has 1 quest that they have to complete, and then they have to close the vortex as a group. Everyone has to be there, everyone has to participate in the battle, and they have to close the vortex to win. And the vortex actually starts at a strength level of 6. The other side I was showing was with the 4 is actually the weakened side. So you as a group do have an option to weaken the vortex, and that means it will stop moving. So you can plan a little bit more to know where it's going to be, and it will only ever spawn 1 villain. When it moves and it's at full strength, it could spawn up to 2 villains each round. And these are the character's health tokens. So the characters start at full health, which is 3, and you'll see that on the player mat in just a moment here. But each character has a different colored heart, and this represents their health. There also is a team health token. If any hero reaches 0 health, this will go down, and I'll show the tracker, the group health tracker in a moment here. But this is a good place as well to talk about the different ways that the group can lose. So I talked about the win condition, let's talk about the lose condition. So there are a couple ways that you can lose. If the group health marker reaches 0, the group loses. So that means too many of the players reached 0 health before they were able to save the realm. And the other way you can lose is by running out of time. So you have a certain number of days that you have to save the realm from being consumed with darkness. And so if you're not able to complete your quests, defeat all the shadows, and close the vortex within a certain number of days or rounds, that's another way that you lose as well. So if the team health marker reaches 0 or you run out of time, those are the 2 different ways that you can lose the game. And now here are the shadow tokens. So these are the essences of villains that have descended on the realm of light. And so Maid Marian comes with the shadow of Prince John, and then a bunch of Prince John's henchmen. There's Sir Hiss and the Sheriff of Nottingham. Belle has Gaston, LeFou, and some wolves. And you'll see that they each have a different number on them, and that is their strength. So let me show you the movers. So here is Belle and Maid Marian. I love these movers so much. They're so cool. And when you look at them from different angles, they kind of shine and they have different reflections, just the way that they were cut. They look kind of like diamonds. They're so cool. I absolutely love these. So Belle, she has her book and she's wearing her cape and she's ready for adventure. Maid Marian is ready to battle with her badminton racket, and I just absolutely love how these turned out. So like I mentioned, I can't show you Moana and Violet quite yet, but they will be revealed soon. So here is the action board. So each round, the group has to decide what 6 actions they're going to take. So there aren't turns in this game. The group just has to decide what 6 actions are we going to do. So you can use a player's special ability. Maybe you decide, okay, Belle is going to hop on Philippe, and maybe Violet will join her and they're going to go over here. That would take up 1 action space on the action board. Then you have to decide what 5 other things are you going to do in that day. This is also the team health tracker here. So I mentioned this before. For 2 players, you start here. For 3 players, you're up here. And 4 players, you're up here. And so anytime a player reaches 0 health, this moves down 1. And so if it reaches all the way at the bottom, you lose. Once 6 actions have been taken, that's the end of the round. Players would take their action tokens back, and then a new darkness card would be revealed, which I will get to momentarily. Here are the player boards. So this is where players keep their different action tokens. The one that is locked is face down in the middle there, and then they also have their health trackers on the side. On the back, there is some fun flavor text and a reminder about what each character comes with. So Maid Marian, it says, "Long live Maid Marian." And Belle, it says, she's the one, the girl we have been waiting for. And I absolutely love the style, the art style of these player boards as well. It's just so cool. And now here are the landscape tiles. So the game comes with the Crystal Castle tile. So this is the center of the Realm of Light. This is where the players start the game. Oh, and on the back, there's some really cool lore about the Realm of Light that you can read. So I'll read you this one. Crystal Castle. It is no coincidence that the darkness first opened a vortex here in the very heart of the realm. This terrifying vortex drew evil, shadowy essences from other realms and amplified their villainous forms to wreak havoc across the Realm of Light. And it says from the Chronicles of Light. So I'll show you how setup works. So let's say it's a 2-player game with Belle and Maid Marian. So you always have the Crystal Castle in every game, but then the other landscape tiles depend on which characters you're playing. There is this special tile called the Starlight Lake that is only used in 2-player games, so we'll include it in this example. Belle comes with the Seaside Inn and the library. Oh, I just noticed that the top of the library is an open book. Oh, that's so cool. I love that so much. The art is by Poppy Betha. Her style and the artwork for this game I am obsessed with. It is just so cool. Anyway, and Maid Marian comes with the lighthouse and the country manor. If it's your first game, you might want to start with the Crystal Castle tile in the middle, and then you would just shuffle these landscape tiles up, and then you would just draw another tile, and you would place it so that the paths match up, and it's land next to land and water next to water. So you couldn't place this here next to water, but you could place it here, or here, or here. You can just decide where you want to put it. Then we draw another one. This is also all land. So Belle and Maid Marian have more land in their landscape tiles. Moana has more water. So depending on which characters you're playing, the landscape would be different. So let's maybe put this one here. This is the lighthouse. So it has 3 sides of water and 1 side of land. So let's maybe put this up here. The Starlight Lake, this is the special 2-player tile. It has water on 1 side, land on 3 others. So let's maybe put this here. And then we have the Seaside Inn, 2 sides water, 2 sides land, and I'm going to put it right there. So this could be your starting map for a 2-player game with Belle and Maid Marian, but the maps can be completely different every time depending on where you place them. Then you would take the villain tokens for the characters that you're playing. In this example, we would take all of Maid Marian and Belle's shadow tokens, and comes with this nifty bag. We would put all of the shadows in there, mix them up, and then we would draw and place a villain on every space that has this villain icon on it. So let's talk about the darkness cards. Each character also comes with these different darkness cards. And so this will show you where the vortex moves and where new shadows will be spawned. In this example, we would have Belle's darkness cards with Maid Marian, as well as the Crystal Castle and the Starlight Lake darkness cards. So that makes our darkness deck. We would shuffle these up and we would turn one over. And so this example is move the vortex to the country manor, add 1 shadow token to both small spaces on the country manor. And you'll see that this card has 1/2 of it is for a full strength vortex at strength of 6, and the bottom half is for if the vortex has been weakened, it's a strength of 4, it doesn't move, and it only spawns 1 shadow. To start the game, you turn over 1 of the darkness cards and you would add a shadow to where it has been moved. So country manor is here, so you can decide, I don't know, let's put it here. And then you would place the vortex next to the country manor at full strength. And now you know the next day, the next round, it will move to one of these other spaces. And just something to remember is you cannot weaken the vortex until you've completed all of your quests. So once Belle and Maid Marian have completed each of their quests, they could decide to weaken the vortex so it doesn't move anymore, and maybe they can finish defeating some villains and then go and close the vortex for the final battle. Belle and Maid Marian start at the Crystal Castle, and you can see here the way that the bases are shaped. If you put them back to back, and if you have all 4 characters, it makes the same symbol that you'll see lots of places, the little symbol of light, and that is formed by their bases when they're next to each other. They start at the Crystal Castle, they have their player boards, they start with their starting abilities, and then they have their lock special ability. Their team health starts on the 3rd space here for the 2-player game. Their health starts at 3, and then we can look at their quest cards. So each player has 4 different quests. Each player can choose choose which quest they want their character to go on for that game. For the examples, I'm going to show you 2 quests that I came up with at the very, very start of the concept for this game, and they made it through every single iteration. They changed a little bit here and there, but they essentially are the same as when I very first thought of the idea for this game. So let me share these 2 with you. For Maid Marian, this is the Royal Rescue. There's a little bit of story on the back. So shadows are keeping the queen prisoner, locked away in the country manor. You must find a rope to help her escape. For setup, place the rope token at the lighthouse and the queen token at the country manor. So each player comes with different quest tokens. Maid Marian for this game would need the rope and the queen. So she would place the rope at the lighthouse and she would place the queen at the country manor. And so for her quest, Maid Marian must pick up the rope from the lighthouse, then travel to the country manor. At the country manor, Maid Marian must roll 1 die. And I'll show you the dice in a second, I promise. If she rolls 1 or more hits, she safely climbs up to rescue the queen. So this is like a roll for success. And this is like an interesting way to use the dice in different ways. So they're used for combat, but they're also sometimes used for rolls for success. So if she rolls damage though, she slides down, takes a damage, and must try again. After she's successful, take the queen to the Crystal Castle. And Belle, the quest is called One of a Kind. The shadows have destroyed an ancient scroll of great importance. Find and repair the scroll before it's lost forever. And you have to place a scroll token at the library, 1 at the Seaside Inn, and 2 at any other quest location. Any hero can collect a scroll token. A lot of the quests rely on other players to help them. So this is a good example where in Maid Marian's, she has to do all the steps herself, but in this one, any hero can help Belle complete this quest. And once all pieces have been collected, Belle must return the restored scroll to Crystal Castle. And so picking up items, dropping off items do not count as actions. So this is a good example. So when Maid Marian goes to save the queen, she could also pick up the scroll at the same time for Belle. Okay, let's get to the dice. Oh, it's so cool. They're like translucent and they're the different players' colors. Here is Maid Marian's and Belle's dice. Oh, this is my first time seeing these. These are so cool. I can show you compared to my prototyped dice. I made so many different variations of these dice throughout the design process. So it's just so cool to see the final version. They just look so beautiful. So you can see this is 1 hit, so that's good. We want that. 2 hits, 3 hits, and then 1 damage, and a blank. Through a lot of testing, we found that that was the best distribution of hits and damage. So let me show you how combat works. Let's say they decided to play Philippe, and so he gets played on the action board. So Maid Marian jumps on the horse with Belle, and they can go up to 3 land spaces. Let's say they're gonna head towards the Starlight Lake. So they go 1, so it's 1 movement between each of these little circular spaces. So moving between the circles is 1 movement. So 1, 2. And so they didn't use the full 3, but once they encounter a villain, they must stop and any extra movement is lost and they must now defeat this villain. So this is a villain of strength of 4. They would both roll both of their dice at the same time and they would count up their hits. So Maid Marian rolled a total of 5 and Belle rolled 3, but also a damage. So that is plenty of hits. So they would just add up their hits. So that was 5 plus 3. So the total of 8 hits, they would compare that to the villain of strength of 4. That's definitely more hits than the strength. So they would defeat the villain. But Belle rolled this damage here. And so players roll their dice, but they can re-roll 1 or both of their dice 1 time if they want to. So Belle would probably do that to try and avoid this damage here. So she would re-roll this and she got hits. So no damage taken, villain defeated. You flip it over to the light side and now you're helping to restore light to the land. The hits and the damage are in the same dice. So you don't have to roll the hero's dice and then roll the enemy's dice, which is something I had when I very first thought of this game. And you also don't chip away at the health of the villains. Like let's say they rolled a total of 3 and this villain was 4. The villain's health wouldn't then go down to 1. It would always go back to full strength and they would just have to fight the villain again at full strength. So they need to get all hits required in just 1 or 2 rolls if they decide to re-roll. So that's how combat works. But let's say that Belle did take 1 damage, she would just move her health marker down 1 space. The team health marker only moves down if a player reaches 0 health. And let's say they defeated this villain, Belle could then pick up this piece of the scroll. So you can pick up items and drop off items after a villain has been defeated at that location. I'll also show you this. And so the game comes with a leader badge. So in a lot of cooperative games, some people can tend to take control over the game. It's called quarterbacking, and it just means that, one player is deciding what everyone should do. And so one way to try to counter that is by having this leader badge. And so each player will take a turn being the leader for the round. And so they ultimately get to decide what actions the group is going to take. Of course, they can hear what everyone says, all the different suggestions, but they decide ultimately what the group will do. And then that leader badge passes clockwise the next day. It's interesting how something as small as this, just giving people something to point to and hold up and be like, hey, wait a minute, I'm the leader. I get to decide, make the decision this round. It really does help with some of the quarterbacking issues that come up with a lot of cooperative games. One other thing that this game does is that because each player has their own individual quest that they want to complete, that helps them speak up and be like, well, I want to go here because that's part of my quest and that would help me. Or I can go here and pick that up for your quest, something like that. Each player also comes with a hero card. And so this gives you a little blurb about the characters and also a reference card for their different special abilities. And the game also comes with these lovely bags in the different player colors, which is really cute. And so because each character has a bunch of different quest tokens and little bits and things, you can keep them organized by their color in these different bags. Hi again, now I can show you Moana and Violet's components. And I want to start with their player pieces. They're so cool. I love how they turned out. Violet with her force field and Moana with her paddle, and they both just look super strong, and I love them. And now I can show you, next to Maid Marian and Belle's pieces, how they form the diamond shape that you see on the box and in different components of the game. Let's start with their player boards and ability tokens. So they both have the base abilities to move and heal. And then Violet's special abilities are the Incredibile. So Violet can move up to 3 water and or land spaces because the Incredibile can go into the water as well as drive on land. And any heroes at her location can travel with her. There's no limit to the number of heroes that can go in her car. And Violet also has invisibility. So Violet and any heroes at her location can avoid all damage. Her special unlocked ability is a force field. At the end of a battle at any location, change all damage to double hits. So Violet can send the force field to her friends if they need help during a battle, or she can use it in a battle that she is involved in as well. And not only does it block damage, it turns damage into hits. So it's like the shadows attacks bounce off the force field and go back onto them. Moana has a boat, so Moana can move up to 3 water spaces and a hero at her location can go with her. And she also has the Heart of Te Fiti. So Moana can heal herself or any hero to full health at any location, and this can be really helpful. Moana's special unlocked ability is the Power of the Ocean. So move Moana or any other hero to any water location. So Moana can seek the help of the water to carry players to various water locations on the board. Moana's landscape tiles are Shimmering Shores and Deep Cove, and Violet's are the School and the Museum. The shadows of villains included with Violet's components are Syndrome, Omnidroids, Underminer, Bon Voyage, and Mirage. And Moana's shadows are Tamatoa, the Chief Kakamora, regular old Kakamora, 8-eyed bats, and the Sloth Monster. And here are all of the quest items included with Violet and Moana. I just wanted to share a couple of their quests that I wanted to highlight. In Violet's quest, Timeless Treasure, Violet must travel to the museum and pick up the vase. Violet must then meet another hero at the school and give them the vase to throw the shadows off her trail. Then that hero must return the vase to the Crystal Castle for safekeeping. I really like this one because it involves a rendezvous with another player at a specific location. You hand off the item and then they have to finish the second half of the quest. I think it's really fun and it requires a lot of coordination. And in Moana's quest, Secure the Ports, heroes must defeat the shadows at all port locations. And then once they're all defeated at the ports, all the heroes have to go to different ports and then stand guard and secure the port by each rolling a die. And if it's a hit, then they have successfully secured their port. So each hero must do that at the same time. I really like this one because it involves, again, coordination and planning. All of the players need to be at different ports at the same time. All of the villains need to be cleared from the ports and then rolling a die for success. So this one has a lot of the different elements of the different quests, some of my favorite elements of the quest that I made all in one. And then here are their dice. Some more beautiful translucent dice. All right, now back over to other Pam. All right, well, that is a preview and an unboxing of my latest published game, Chronicles of Light, Darkness Falls, Disney Edition. I am so glad and I'm so happy I'm finally able to share this with you and to talk about this with you. I hope you're as excited about this game as I am. And if you enjoyed this preview video, I hope you consider liking and subscribing. I talk about all things board game design on this channel, and we'll share more videos of the behind the scenes and the design process and the pitching process of how I got to this point in this game and a bunch of other games that I'm working on as well. You can click on the join button below if you want to join my membership program. This will give you access to weekly playtesting sessions, our members only Discord channel, and many other perks. Thanks again for watching. Be sure to follow me on social media at Pam Walls Game Design, and now go watch my other unboxing videos, and I'll see you over there.